to hike up your guitars and limber up your fingers, Gong Gang. It's the songs that made me, PROG edition. As the release of the new In Virtue album Age of Legends rapidly approaches on November 21st, I'm taking a look at some of my biggest songwriting influences, and today we are going to see if any of these PROG songs that infected my brain are going to hold up. I'm going to be playing this very appropriate and also outrageously stunning and amazing Ernie Ball Music Man JP15 guitar that my good friends at Sweetwater sent over. More on that later. It would be irresponsible to have any kind of a conversation about progressive music without talking about Dream Theater. Easily one of my favorite bands of all time, and during my formative years, 17, 18, 19, I was obsessed. I happened to live in the Boston area, so I actually sort of made my first college choice of Berklee College of Music based on the fact that Dream Theater went there. I played the guitar before I heard Dream Theater, but it wasn't until that moment that I understood what you could do with it, and I started really practicing. So I owe the vast majority of my technical skill on the instrument to John Petrucci and trying to be him. But technical skill on their instruments is not what makes Dream Theater great. They, along with Transatlantic, are for me the goats of prog music because of long-form composition and songwriting. What makes them the goats is the understanding that the main quest is always more important than the side quest. But they also rock the shit out of all of their side quests. And the result is always this long but satisfying journey where we get the fucking ring to Mount Mordor. This might be kind of a controversial choice for favorite Dream Theater song. It's Peruvian Skies, but I do think it is one of their best composed and most memorable tracks. They open up with a clean version of the riff that is going to come back towards the end of the song, and when it comes back, it is such a massive moment, and it connects the whole of the song together. And this song also has what I think of as one of the best solos of all time, period, but also just the best wah solo. Kirk Hammett, eat your heart out. And then a different thing that I didn't learn. It's so quirky, chromatic, but makes perfect sense. That's such a movie. And then
there it is.
Wide open variation on it. Lets them put the focus on the vocal. Super simple chords, but with a nice little twist coming. Flat 2. And then once just as smooth, once again, back into 4/4 for the verse. So many super cool little things happening. A little bit of like kind of jammy Rhodes, layers of guitar things, but always all working together.
You're not to blame.
And cranking up the heat a bit throughout the second verse.
Daddy's name.
This is super important. Listen to the vocal melody during the chorus, okay? Under Peruvian skies, Vanessa regretfully waits. And then the harmony during the chorus. Under Peruvian skies.
Not so regretfully waits.
Okay? Because by the time we get to the final chorus, they're gonna switch. It's fucking perfect! It's perfect! I yoinked that move for so many songs. Let's see if you can find it throughout the new In Virtue album when it drops. But if you're writing songs, this is such a boss move.
Always confusing the love that she's losing for his.
I haven't learned this part, so... Hold on. I haven't played this in a really long time, so I'm going to have to sort of relearn it. And then at the best possible moment, the riff comes back, but heavy! And then a nice little side quest. So this whole like riffage side quest section of the song takes the idea and it sort of builds on itself, and then it builds dynamically into the final chorus that's in the same key, but then, like I said earlier, we take the harmony and the melody and we flip them. To me, this is flawless prog songwriting. There are, of course, tons of Dream Theater songs that are way longer than this. This one's not even 7 minutes. Cowardice. But they always maintain this level of cohesion. It's just mostly that they have sort of longer and more involved side quests, and they sort of stretch the same basic format out. But they never abandon the main quest, and that is why I love progressive music. I don't listen to a lot of modern prog because they don't understand this principle. They abandoned the Ocarina of Time for fucking Majora's Mask. Y'all need to get back to your fucking roots. How about this guitar, huh? It doesn't just look and sound amazing, it also plays amazing, and it's got all these super cool features. Like, it's got this little built-in boost if you need some more gain.
Bro.
Sorry.
Literally none of that is true.
I mean, it is your guitar. Do you want to, like...
Yeah, give me that thing. It never should have fallen into mortal hands.
Okay.
What the hell does Stay Squishy even mean?
Not like it's my video or anything.
So this isn't just a gain boost. That's oversimplifying. It's actually a direct conduit to the magma that lurks just below the Earth's crust. So
What?
I don't recommend touching it unless you have at least a +5 modifier to your armor, which I don't think that you have. But if you do, it does crazy things like this. That's really slow for me. I think probably if you're playing that fast, your fingers will melt off anyways and it won't matter. That's why the top is flame maple. That's actually short for flame retardant maple. It's made from a specific tree that only grows inside of volcanoes. The body is made from okume, which actually is not a type of tree. That's actually a species of 8-headed dragon that I slew for its incredibly resonant hide.
That's definitely not true. Is it?
This wiggle stick is actually tuned to a very specific, precise frequencies that when you activate it correctly, it actually creates an alchemical process that turns my enemy's blood into destructive acid that boils them from the inside out. It's also blue because I like the color blue.
Because you like the color blue.
Yeah, it's real pretty.
Come on, son.
Your Sweetwater rep didn't tell you about all this stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I forgot.
They really know their stuff. It's the best place to buy a guitar. They do a whole 55-point inspection and set it up before they send it out to you. Plus, you picked this exact guitar out of the gallery. It even told you how much it weighed.
I picked the lightest one.
Come on, son. If you want to get one for yourself because you have flame retardant hands and you are immortal as I am, then you're definitely want to grab one from Sweetwater. Hit the link in the description and get ready to get...
All right. I think they get the point.
Are you sure? You don't want me to do the rest of the video?
Do you mind?
It didn't really look like you were doing that great of a job.
May I?
All right, tough guy.
Yeah. All right. Come on. Yeah, cool, man. Good to see you. Never meet your heroes, you know what I mean? This next one comes from a band that I think is criminally underrated. I think this is one of the greatest prog bands of all time. You may have literally never even heard of them. They're called Transatlantic, and it was like a prog supergroup. Transatlantic, to me, was peak composition. Just the best prog songwriting maybe ever, especially in long form. And this is my personal favorite. It's called My New World. It's from their album, which is called Simpty. That's like maybe the most prog pun of all time. They made the title of their album a reference to time code. This song is a masterclass in theme and motivic development. This came out in 2000, 25 fucking years ago. Crazy. So here's the theme. It's so prog that it's in the Lydian mode. And then they repeat it again, a minor third higher. This is something I do all the time. You want to get more mileage out of an idea, play it once or twice, and then transpose it up a minor third or another interval, but just do it again in a different key. And then these are like more themes that happen throughout the rest of the track. One thing that I love about this band is how much they love the Beatles. I always think of Abbey Road as like one of the first prog albums. And I always felt like Transatlantic kind of used that as a little gateway into dumping a ton of Beatles influence into their songwriting.
Place she called home was high on a hill, way up in a big house under the trees. Days in the sun, she'd seen by the river, reading a book and feeding her dreams.
What a beautiful chord progression.
Calls for a soldier, and he went off to a foreign land. When he returned, so much have changed at the end of innocence. Nothing's the same. My new world was spinning me around, and that was all that could be. My new world was spinning me, and nothing's lost on memory. My new world was spinning me around.
Now, right back in.
I up to Woodstock, got high in Frisco, summer of love, that child she was wild.
Get ready for the theme again. First, a little jazz freak out. The guitarist in this band, Roy Stoll, is kind of like the chaotic good element. He wanted to do a lot of improvising in this very structured format. There it is. And now we have a completely new version of the same theme from the beginning. We also have a secondary theme that recurs throughout. So when you're listening to this whole song at home by yourself, listen for both of those. We're not going to listen to the whole song today, okay? It's 16 minutes long. I could do a whole video about just this song.
My new world is ahead of me, but sometimes I'm back.
Beautiful Backstreet Boys-esque harmonies. There's the theme again. Across a bunch of cool chords. And then look at how they transform the end of the motif into the idea, the seed of the idea for the next part. Right into it.
Disappointment struck him hard when he found out there was no lucky stars to strike.
Every side quest contains the main quest. Then we get back to the main motif again. like a diminution of the main motif, which means they just made it smaller. I just noticed this, but there is a song on the new In Virtue album. It's the second to last track where I am talking about time. And in the first version of this line, I say, time isn't on my side at all. And then the last time I say, time is on my side after all. And I think it may have been directly influenced by this line that we just heard, even though I didn't notice. I didn't do it on purpose. Another version of our motif. Of course, to end it. If you have a great motif that you have developed throughout the song, you have to end on it. I don't make the rules. This time they kind of just keep going up and up and up. Just good prog songwriting or good songwriting. This is amazing composition. This is incredible, perfect storytelling. This is how you compose a 16-minute song that is going to hold my attention the whole time. It's fucking flawless. This kind of thematic continuity and motivic development is something that I have carried with me since I heard all of this music for 20 plus years at this point. And it worked its way so strongly into my writing and my subconscious way of looking at art that it's worked itself into every aspect of the new In Virtue album, Age of Legends, out November 21st. It is a concept album. There is a main motif, just like what we just heard. It's the first thing that you hear on the whole album, and it's in the final track. And then it's in a bunch of the songs throughout at different points. The motif goes thus. And every time it comes back throughout the album, it's a little bit different. It grows. It starts off as this big orchestral version. There's a little piano version in the middle of a song that's just piano and vocal. And there's like a fast power metal version. So as you're listening to it, try and find the motif. And to me, that really glues together a larger, longer form piece of music. And it's like a cool Easter egg, right? Then you go on a little hunt, trying to find it everywhere. Also with bands like Ghost and Sleep Token, there's all this lore, right? People talk about lore. This is like musical lore. I also love instrumental music. And to me, the peak of progressive instrumental music is Liquid Tension Experiment. Now, as a Dream Theater fanatic, naturally, I found Liquid Tension Experiment, and I was like, what is this? It's easy to look back and be like, oh, Liquid Tension Experiment is just instrumental Dream Theater. But at the time, Jordan Rudess wasn't in Dream Theater yet. This is how they got together. I actually got to see Liquid Tension Experiment play, and it was fucking awesome. But we're going to listen to one that really inspired me. I can't play most of this. I'm going to try. I realized that the very first thing that happens on Age of Legends is a lick that has a very similar vibe to it. And it's also something that I can barely fucking play. You ever write something for yourself to play and you're just like, why did I do that to myself? What did I ever do to me? Then a key change. And then they do the same thing, same melody, with chords. So then we have our two primary motifs that are going to come back throughout the song. We've got this ostinato shred thing that is just wildly difficult to play. The first time I heard this, my little brain exploded. I was like... And then this ultra melodic riff that also gets used as a melody. And then they move that through different key centers and different cool versions. Close enough. That's as good as it's gonna get. Without giving myself tendinitis again. Then we get the same riff doubled an octave higher. That is such a fucking tasty ass solo. So much amazing, memorable phrasing throughout all of the solos. None of them feel wanky, even though they're ultra shreddy. To me, these albums contain the greatest work of Jordan Rudess. His best solos, the best composition, peak keyboard. I think there are 2 or maybe 3 keyboard solos on Age of Legends. If Alex had his way, there would probably be one on every song. Luckily, our keyboard player, Alex, is also very heavily influenced by Jordan Rudess, and I really wanted that Goldilocks zone of shreddy, but really melodic and memorable with good phrasing, and I think he hit that pretty good. And then they just jam. And then this. Crazy, memorable, catchy melodies over really interesting, wild chord changes. Tons of what I call musical filigree that doesn't get in the way of the main ideas. Our third kind of motif emerges that we will come back to later. And just the most fucking bonkers piano performance. What the fuck? And then like Primus time, kinda. Build, the big build. And then this is the full version of the melody that we heard on the piano. Oh, the chords! They recorded these albums, wrote and recorded these albums in a fucking week each. In a week. A week! Then more versions of the melody. Developed versions. Always changing and adding something every time it comes back. This is the progress that progressive is referring to. It's this constant reiteration of the motif and the themes. Not just fucking random bullshit thrown together. Take snippets of the motif and build on it. Use it as building blocks. And then fucking reggae rock and roll version, just to be silly. Because they fucking can. Every single side quest includes the main quest. And then when we get to where we're going, it's home. We've arrived home. Except for the bit at the end. That's just for fun. This next one might shock you. You might have never even noticed that Kansas is a prog band. Not just a prog band, not just any prog band, one of the all-time greatest. You're like, no. Dust in the Wind, Kansas. Couldn't possibly be prog. And then you think back to their other hit, Carry On Wayward Son, and you're like, massive time signature change right in the middle of this huge hit song. Tons of key changes, multiple solo sections. If you've never listened to the rest of their discography and you're a prog fan, you are fucking up. We're going to take a look at their song Point of No Return from the album of the same name. This is the same album that Dust in the Wind was on. One time, I won tickets on the radio to go see Kansas in New Hampshire because my best friend, Lisa, knew the capital of Kansas, which is not Kansas City, it's Topeka. Thank you, Lisa. So I got to go and see Kansas in the summer of 2004, 2005, something like that. That was 20 years ago, and even then, they were pretty old, and they sounded so fucking good. If you listen to classic rock radio, they play this song sometimes. Right away in the verse, we've even got some odd time signature stuff. It feels like they just chopped off the end of some of the measures. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. And then we get this little tease of the chorus.
They say the sea turns so dark that you know it's time to see the sign. They say the point demon's guard is an ocean grave for all the rain. Was it you that said how?
And then the quickest, tastiest little classically flavored pre-chorus turnaround. Was it you that said how far? And then this lick. And then back to the intro. And then this weird thing. Honestly, I think the addition of violin really sets Kansas apart from a lot of the other prog bands. The way they use it is both kind of like a country or like folky fiddle, but then also like a classical violin. And it gives it both this like salt of the earthiness and like a pinky out grandeur of classical music. Fucking love it.
that when you could see it, you cried with fear. The point was near. Was it you that said, how long? How long? How long to the point of no return? How long? How long to the point of no return? No return.
Only real ones know. Only real ones know, Kansas. This is gonna send me back down a Kansas rabbit hole. I'm gonna be listening to this shit for weeks now. So I think that's about as many of these songs as I can fit into one video without it being like 2 hours long. So I think maybe we should
Tell them about the album again.
What are you still doing here? Aren't you supposed to be doing a North American tour right now?
Aren't you supposed to be promoting an album release?
Well, yeah, but
No, you're useless. I'll just do it. New in Virtue album Age of Legends is out November 21st. You can pre-save it at the link in the description and watch the new music video here. Thanks to Sweetwater for sending over the Annihilator of Souls, JP15. You can get one for yourself at the link in the description. Peace out, bitches.